Welcome back to my Dungeon Boss campaign series. We are finishing up Chapter 11. This is going to be the final 3 dungeons of Chapter 11, which culminates with our fight against the Lich King. So to kick things off, we are in Chapter 11, number 5, Plague Sewers. So you saw from the last video, we took a quick preview here. We're dealing with a pretty strong elemental advantage. So we didn't really have an issue with it the first time, so we're going to keep with our water team right now just because Grognog is so tough and he's got a double attack plus an AoE. If things get bad though, I can swap him out and bring in Nimriel. She'll be able to take out these little blobs here and probably pretty much any of those other ones as well. Alright, so let's get into it. We'll keep our exact same team. Same potion loadout, so we can afford 1 death, which doesn't typically happen. But, you know, things have caught me off guard before when we get to boss fights. 5-room dungeon means we could do AoE if we want to. It really depends on what we think is going to happen with these guys as far as poison goes. And with only 3 of them, I don't think it's really a good use of my skills here, for being honest. Yeah, if Grognog can take out him. This guy will probably poison me, so I'm going to throw Taunt up just to play it safe. If only 1 guy is poisoned, that'll be better, but if he does his jelly attack like Phenol does, that could be problematic, being that I can only cleanse 1 person at a time, so I pretty much have to soak that damage. Okay, this is a better room to use AoE. A room full of 5. And 3 of them are tougher, so we don't want this one dragging on for multiple turns. So we kill as much as we can. I'm still going to save Grognog's AoE just so that we have it if we need it. Focus fire down. Now we only got 1 left, so even if he poisons, we'd be okay. The nice passive heals from Yasmin are keeping William alive, which is nice, keeping his health topped off. Alright, so now we're just going to straight brute force this one and see what it's like as far as these, what they do in the long term, because we want to know what they're capable of in case there's more elite versions of these guys with the boss. We want to know if they're doing poison damage or if they're taunting. They might have that jiggle taunt up. They might have like a poison rune or poison skin, something like that. But ultimately it doesn't look like they're overly threatening. So Grognog does have poison now, which is fine. He's got pretty high health and defense, so I'm not too worried. And plus the nice thing about taking this one slow is it allows Kira's skill to recharge as well, which is kind of necessary. So same basic room here. We will kill these little guys and then just work it out with the rest of them. I'll actually just auto this one for a couple of turns here, and then I'll go into the main room. Actually, we're not going to auto that one now. Like I said, I'm going to be forced to heal. I was going to auto run that one, taunt going into the boss room, but it appears I'm going to have to heal here. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'll taunt first, and then I'll use Guardian Strike in the next room. Because we probably only need 1 turn of taunt in here with Kira's AoE. Howling Mad Gibbers. Mutters. I wonder if that's Jabber's brother or cousin, whatever they called it. They definitely don't look the same. He's pretty tough. I'm guessing he's going to do some sort of beast mode attack. We'll at least minimize his crit chance here. And I don't know who's more dangerous at this point. I'll go with the guy with the lower health. Beast Hunter should be nice. A little bit extra damage. It's good that he did his rampage right out of the blue. that works pretty well. And with the Guardian Strike, I'm sitting pretty good there as well. Oh, I wish he would have hit him twice. But I have to heal with Yasmin, so... Hopefully Beast Hunter can take him down. I just don't quite see it happening. Nope. It's a bummer. But Revenge should do it. There we go. Okay, so the little Jabber clone already did his rampage, so he's probably got some sort of a poison strike in him yet. I don't think he does the actual beast mode like Jabberjaw does. With taunt down, though, you never know what's going to happen if he goes after Yasmin. Fortunately, she soaked it. That's a good deal. Had I been under leveled, that probably would have killed her, but got through unscathed. Another rune. We're really not doing well with tokens today. Getting a bunch of trash runes, which I just don't need right now. I mean, it's great to break them down and all, but another life rune, just don't need that at this time. Now, if I started getting some improved, or at least some better rarity, then I would gladly take them. Alright, Festering Halls. We can get some Stonefist tokens, again with the elemental disadvantage, and Utica the Forgotten is back again, which I never really understood why he was in more than one dungeon. I felt like it was an error right from the start, but this guy is not undead, so Kira's not going to do extra damage to him. Alright, same team. We will just target those casters first. We've already found the blobs aren't terribly dangerous unless they all start stacking their attacks on Grognog like they did before. Alright, let's just do this to avoid poison. Probably could have killed them all with a Kira and then a Grognog, but like I said, it's something we want to test out and just see where things fall. Alright, so we will we'll taunt with William in this one because it's going to be a little bit longer fight. Alright, with the taunt up, we can auto battle this one for a little bit. Let them do their thing. So one of my favorite combos with Grognog is if you also happen to have Valken, because Valken has the ability to inspire allies to follow up attack, which is the equivalent of what Grognog does with 2 attacks. So if you have Valken and Grognog, you're getting a ton of extra attacks, which is really helpful in both PvP and just regular dungeons. So anything that gives more attacks per turn or per dungeon is always going to benefit you in the long run. So if you're looking to run some fire dungeons, Valken Grognog combo is going to be pretty sweet there. Those 2 are actually on my main farming team for Lava Academy at on Boss Island. So we are getting a little bit of poison here because of all these green guys. I'm going to kind of be forced to heal just to keep them up. I'm not going to cleanse the poison just yet. I don't think that's worth my time to try and do. We'll just try and mitigate the damage to everybody else, and we'll focus it on William, because then I can single target heal him. Yeah, that Intensify is no joke. So they all use Intensify Poison, which I guess I didn't see that coming. I'm going to keep my potion here and actually just use my friend Revive. I'm not big on using friends in campaign dungeons, but it beats having to re-record this one just because we didn't 3-star or something like that. So we are going to do this while it's up. If they're going to keep dishing out poison, we gotta kill some of them at least. And then we'll deal with the boss fight when we get to it. If I don't have my skill up, I'll use my energy potion. And honestly, a single target attack on him with Kira is going to be just as fine anyways. I don't need that AoE. But what I do need is I need a full health on William to soak the damage. That's what I do need. With his crit rating gone, that helps us. He should be able to soak as long as he doesn't attack Yasmin, which he did. If I didn't use Guardian Strike, that would have been over. So that was very fortunate. But we can see the dungeons are getting a little bit tougher now. If you're not coming in with 3-star heroes, they can be a challenge. If you're getting to the point where you can't beat these now with your hero roster, then you have to start considering over-leveling a little bit. Remember, my main thing with this series is to beat the dungeons at level. And you can see I'm at level, and this one here is still a little challenging. Alright, so get a double attack here. I really wish I had that taunt up on William. He's gonna kill just anybody that he sees. I almost have to use this. So as far as potions go, potions and friends, this is definitely my least successful dungeon to date. He's much more powerful than I expected. So bringing somebody like Ella or Nimrio probably would have been helpful with that daze. But we got through him with a 3-star. We had to burn 2 potions and a friend hero, but I think a few dungeons like that in the first 11 chapters, I think that's sort of fair. So Lich is going to be a little bit tougher now. So we'll see what the rest of the stage looks like for Lich. We want to make sure we have a decent damage dealer. We have a bunch of undead. These guys are his. We have Carnage as a mini-boss, and Night Creeper's a mini-boss too. So a lot of undead, and then this guy. My blue team is actually going to work pretty good here. So I'm actually pretty confident in this team here. So we're going to keep this one. I already used my friend hero revive. I will keep a revive potion. I don't know that I need a health potion. I'm going to bring another energy potion just to have that for taunts if needed. The only thing I'm not entirely sure of is if I want to have William in there to taunt without seeing the stage first. I don't know if that's going to be useful for the boss fight. I might want somebody that's got a little bit more damage output. So we'll go ahead and we'll run it once and see where that takes us. So it's an epic dungeon. We can't use friends, so that's why I have the revive potion. The goal is to get to the boss fight without dying, so that if he does kill somebody, it's not a big deal. With all the undead in this stage, though, I feel like we're going to be in a pretty good spot. So I'll probably end up using Grognog's ability on the mini-boss. These guys I'm not overly concerned about. They shouldn't hit that hard. And we'll see what the undead damage does with Yasmin. That's what I was hoping for. So, yeah, these guys aren't going to be anything to really worry about. So we'll save our skills, except for the... I don't know if Kira's going to need to use his skill on the mini-boss. There is, I think the purple guy is undead, so it might be smart to do that. This should be a one-shot. And then a follow-up one-shot. That's good. So this stage here is definitely a lot easier. Without the elemental disadvantage we had against all those nature cubes, we're actually sitting pretty good. Alright, he is indeed undead, so I'm just going to go ahead and wail on him. The Lich fight is going to be long enough where I'm going to get Death Blossom up a couple of times anyways, so we'll just keep using our abilities. Alright, Caster's just about dead, which is ultimately what we want, because we don't want him burning us. This other guy here is probably going to do some sort of a major attack. I'll soak it with William just to be safe. I don't want him unleashing on Kira with some sort of, haymaker or something that's going to kill him. Alright, so we got one turn to get some skills back. Just a bunch of undead again. Grognard might kill both red ones. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and use Guardian Strike here. It's a good prelude into the boss fight. Get a little bit extra defense here because the taunt is going to drop. So the Lich fight, if you've never fought him before, there are some mechanics essentially. He only has one real bad hit, and it's called Lich Slap. But it's very obvious when it's actually coming. If you kill the ads, he probably won't ever really do it because he needs to sacrifice one of them in order to actually do that move. So those little ads are obviously a lot tougher than the ones in the actual stage here. So ideally we would like to use Kira to attack him, but we also don't want to keep these guys out here because we don't want him to sacrifice those guys. We just don't want that. Because he'll sacrifice one and then he will do a gaining power move, and that's when you know the end is near. And so if it takes you a little longer to do this fight because of the need to kill these ads, there's really nothing you can do about that. So what I ultimately need is I need to be able to taunt again with William, because as long as Kira's diseased, he's just not going to do very well. Grognard can be diseased. I'm not really caring too much about him for attacks. Kira's a real damage dealer here. A lot of times when you run this later on, if you have Yorick already, Yorick and Kira are a good way to do this dungeon here. Alright, so this should work well. Hopefully that should kill both of those undead. And so he doesn't do his Lich Slap until about halfway down in health anyways. I'll save this for one more turn. So don't get a little bit too crazy about using your skills. You want to make sure that you're full health for the Lich Slap, and it's possible that you might not even be able to take it. As long as Kira can stay non-diseased, we should be pretty decent here. But we are getting to the point where he's almost at half health, and he may very well use his Lich Slap ability. Okay, so we'll kill him. I'm just saving the heal for one more turn again because all of my guys are diseased, so the heal is going to be almost wasted anyway. So there's the gathering power. At this point here, we need to take stock of where we are because he is going to essentially unleash hell on us, and that's going to be a problem. It may very well wipe my team here. So he takes decent damage from Kira. If he wasn't diseased, that would be pretty helpful. But Yasmin's the only one that I'm really worried about, although he might kill Kira as well. But fortunately we got Guardian Strike. This is all we can do to prevent this. So with the extra defense, that actually helped quite a bit. You obviously don't want to have to deal with that too often. Once I can cleanse Kira, I may even use my energy potion just to get him another big attack. Because if I can kill Lich before he gets around to another one, that's going to be good. So I'm not going to waste an energy potion because it's down in one turn. I'll let him even sacrifice. I'm just going to try and hit him and soak the damage from those other guys. So I might actually kill him before he can do anything horrible. So we're going to heal William and then taunt for the little guys. That should be a perfect conclusion to this fight here then. He's going to sacrifice. I don't care about that. He'll get a little bit of health back, but now Kira can do this. and we killed him. So, as far as the team goes, is this the best possible team for it? I don't know. Grognog did really well against most of the stuff in the stage. Yasmin has Pwn Undead, so she's good for the stage. The only real question mark is, did we need William? I mean, he helped a little bit here and there, but we burned through the stage so quickly. The Guardian Strike to prep for Lich Slap was obviously very important. There's probably other heroes that could buff your defense. Had we brought along Augustus, for example, he could have used his Aegis Wall, but remember, that's also an ascension that you would need to have as well. I doubt I would be able to ascend Augustus yet, so that's not going to work. But Kira is a definite must for this one. You have to have his high damage. I should also mention that I also put my Seeker on him as well, so I do have the extra damage against Dark Heroes, which is what really helped against Lich here. So, if you have any questions about the Lich or you're struggling to beat him, take stock of what level you are. We can always work with your heroes. I mean, you should be able to have Yasmin and William. Maybe you don't have Kira or Grognog. Let us know what your hero roster is, and we can try and build a team that works for him. Otherwise, you may just have to over-level a little bit and come back to it. So, any other questions, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we will be back with Chapter 12. Thanks.